was cutting through the middle, she was fouled, an illegal check. And therefore, Grogan was awarded with that 8 meter. The 8 meter refers to that red fan that you can see outside of the goal. So we go back to the face-off circle for a draw at midfield. Again, it's Julian Bell with Elle Stevenson from the Souhegan Sabres. That ball comes out towards Grogan, ground ball, and she's going to get it, but there was an illegal check there. So Stevenson picks up, gets it quickly to Margot Mans, and they're out on their clear. Tough ride here, though, as Ellie Enners has good hustle there to try to head off the clear by the Sabres. And an awkward pass there goes off of one of the Sabres players and out of bounds. So Sabrina Tipping will pick it up for the Bulldogs. Quickly out, nice cut by O'Brien. O'Brien receives the ball from Tipping, looks upfield, finds Bell. Bell quickly across, now to Enners. Enners into the middle to Grogan. And they're up and out and will set up their offense. Now Matthews settles. Lefty back up top to Bell. Bell takes it down to the right side here. Looks for a cutter. Didn't see a cut that she likes, so she maintains patience. Now sees Grogan coming through the middle. Can't quite handle it. Ball's on the ground and scooped up by Regan O'Brien. O'Brien, face dodge. Gets through two. Gets through a third. And looked like it popped off the pipe there. Didn't think Hargraves got a piece of that, but there is going to be a foul on the Sabres, and it looks like O'Brien will have an 8 meter shot here.
Yeah, it looked like they're trying to contest the shot from Regan. I think clipped her stick. I think it did ricochet off the goal, so missed opportunity there, just going in and avoiding the penalty, but nonetheless, great opportunity here for the Bulldogs.
O'Brien takes that, and great save by Hargraves. She got across. That was an offside shot by O'Brien, nicely placed, but Hargraves was all over it. Comes up with a big stop there to keep it a 2-0 lead for the Bulldogs. They challenge in the midfield. Ellie Enners is going to get called, but they quickly restart. They find Mans in the middle. Mans' pass is now bobbled a little bit here as they fight for the ground ball. And Ellie Stevenson comes away with that. Lila Kimball now feeds behind. Kelly Bishop looks for cutters. Doesn't see any. So she'll dish and keep it moving around the outside. Abby Hawks now up to, let's see, I think that's Kenzie Kretzinger. Now across the top. Stevenson over to Kimball. Kimball
Very
behind.
Patient. Very patient set by the Sabres.
Absolutely. They kick it back up top to Ellie Stevenson. Junior captain midfielder. Lila Kimball now down the left side, right side. And back up to Stevenson. Good, a patient approach here. About 10 minutes gone here in the first half. Stevenson checked there by Julian Bell. Doesn't find what she wants. Looks into the middle. No go.
Nice job by Matthews keeping that
Matthews
one alive.
Kept it alive, and you're absolutely right. Tipping now with the ground ball, and she's going to clear it out with her legs.
Boy, a lot of contact there.
A lot of contact there gets called as Sierra Kimball has a check that is called as illegal. So Tipping dishes to Enners. Enners now to Bell. And the Bulldogs will set up their offense. Still a 2-0 lead for the Bulldogs. On this gorgeous afternoon. Well, maybe not gorgeous.
We're playing.
Yeah, we're playing.
Better than last year's games.
It's true. It's true. Ball on the ground as it comes out of Bell's stick. And Bell is bumped on that ground ball, so it's going to be awarded back to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, a bit lucky there. She lost it in the cradle and then was going back for it, got bumped, and was awarded a great opportunity here.
And because it was inside that fan that we talk about, she gets a free position on the 8 meter. So Bell's lined up with her left hand. Hargraves is challenging her to go near side. The sidearm shot goes well out, but it's nicely backed up there by Emily Ulmer.
Yep.
Oh, well, maybe not. Jeez.
Ooh.
I'm not sure about that call, but hey, George, can we get the replay on that one so we can see who's closer? George Cox here on camera and graphics. We appreciate his help, but the budget doesn't allow for replay right now. So the Sabres are coming out on that call, and they get it to the near side. Sierra Kimball up quick to Lila Kimball.
Good lane here.
Kimball drives, dishes, and we're going to get a foul in the fan. Looks like Callie Bishop is going to get a free position shot. She was fouled right on the crease, and now she'll test her might against Abby Widener, the sophomore goalie. Low shot, wide, but excellent
Great
backup
pickup.
there by
Yeah.
the Sabres. She comes around and can't get it to go as Abdel Sayed got a stick in the way. And now it's checked out of Mackenzie Muir's stick on the way out of that clear. So the Sabres do get it back. But a couple of stellar defensive plays there. And another one here, but Callie Bishop is going to get to the what we might call a free throw line, Corey
Yep.
Parker.
Yep.
But Callie Bishop will go to the 8-meter, and Widener steps up in her goal. And the bounce shot goes in for Bishop. So they draw back to within one on Bishop's goal with 13:07 left here in the first half.
Yeah, Bulldogs playing with fire there. 3 opportunities in the zone. Widener did a good job. The one before that was a really funky play where it was an errant shot but scooped up, and I think a lot of people thought the ball went out. But Widener and goals kept her eye on it the whole way. But nonetheless, a nice goal there for Bishop. And, Sauhegan and Bedford, both quality teams. You see it in the passing and the transition, how quickly they can flip fields. And Sauhegan did a good job of taking it from the other end on a shot out of bounds that Bedford lost out on and quickly transitioned it to scoring opportunities, which is a sign of a good team.
Sure is. Those stick skills come in such important factor right here on the draw. The Bulldogs get possession as Grogan fields the ground ball. But yes, their involvement with club teams outside of the high school and constantly having their sticks in their hands promote that stick skill that you see right now, catching and throwing, scooping up ground balls, and moving that ball around quickly to their teammates is such a vital part of this game. Enters to Matthews. Ball's on the ground, but Matthews gets the ground ball quickly. Back to Enters. Now to Bell. Bell comes to the right side.
Look for Grogan to come off a double screen. Oh, no, it's Matthews.
A little stack there. Enters cuts. Now Grogan. Ooh, looked like they had Grogan. Bell, face dodge to her right hand.
Nice.
Barry's top side.
Nice shot there.
Excellent shot right over Hargrave's head. Tough one to stop there, but Julian Bell is able to bury, and it's a 3-1 lead for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, really tough play there. No chance for the goalie to get that top shelf there, and with some velocity, no less, for the Navy commit.
So good for Julian Bell on her first goal of the game. 12-12 left here in the first half.
Interesting, we're seeing 2 different offensive styles. Bedford putting a lot of slashers, a lot of screen, a lot of activity in front of Hargraves, whereas Sauhegan spread out more, almost looking for the one-on-one opportunities to take their man. And in their credit, they've got the fouls called when necessarily trying to take them off the drill, but Bedford doing a nice job in front of the goal as well, offensively.
Yeah, they sure are. They're stacking up at the midfield, getting some cutters off of picks, and really trying to confuse the defense as Matthews comes away, controls that draw for Bell. Matthews gets quickly into the offensive area. Now they'll settle. So you'll notice that not all players can go everywhere on the field. The 30-yard line is the indicator of thirds. So in the offensive third, you're allowed to have 7 attacking players. Usually they will stack up or keep in a circle type situation. Bell gets checked here. And the defensive team needs to keep 5 players back, so 4 field players and a goalie. You can see that off to the left-hand side as the cut comes through. Can't quite get it, though. Matthew's stick was checked nicely by the defensive player. And
Margot Mann's nice job not only deflecting it, but scooping it up and transitioning it.
Still got the wheels going here. She aggressively pushes to the middle, passes off, finds Callie Bishop. She'll pull it back out and look for a cutter, and it's Mans again. And Mans, as you said, got it back and quickly buried a goal. So it looked like they forgot about the midfielder / defenseman, and she turned and went right back and was wide open for that cut right in the middle.
Yeah, tough one to miss. She's probably the tallest player on Souhegan's team, and earned that one, fighting it off at the 15, taking it all the way down to the 10, and getting it back and earning that goal, no less. So 3-2, 11:03 left here in the first half. Bulldogs lead. Rain appears to have stopped, although the umbrellas are still in full-fledged.
Finding shelter of some sort. It's good to be in the box today. So we go back to the draw circle. So Stevenson again for the Sabres and Bell for the Bulldogs. Officials doing a little bit of teaching here at the same time. Gary Wong, a longtime lacrosse official here in New Hampshire.
Well with our contact tracing at the moment here. Social distancing is not. There you go, Gary. Get out of there.
Get out of there, Gary. Put your mask on. And Bell comes away with it, finds Matthews, and they will trot it into their offensive third. They set it up, get it down to O'Brien. O'Brien quickly to her left hand, gets across the middle, and she's fouled, so she'll get an 8-meter here.
Card coming.
Look like a wayward check.
Yeah. I think above the shoulders is the signal from.
O'Brien got whacked in the face. And so looks like, who is that? Eva Stein?
12?
Yeah, Eva Stein will go off. And the Sabres will play short-handed for a short time here. And O'Brien gets that free position 8-meter right at the top of the circle here. So gives her all kinds of angles and good shot opportunities. But she is checked on her approach there. Offensive.
Yeah, 23 got a stick on that. Ellis Stevenson.
Ellis Stevenson, yep.
Maybe one too many steps from Regan before releasing that one.
A couple of recent changes to the girls' game that I'm happy to see is free movement. So the girls used to be required to stand exactly where they were when the dead ball occurred. And now they've filtered down from the college level now to the high school level where they have free movement.
Yeah, keeps the game going, keeps the flow. Field hockey's taken a similar pattern to it, which is just really benefiting the kids playing the game and honestly the spectators as well, because a lot of times people aren't sure what the heck's the call. But they spend more time moving bodies around than playing the actual game.
Now the Sabres are not going to worry about killing off this penalty as they look to aggressively go to the goal. Callie Bishop gets back to her right hand, a little underhand shot, and that's wide, but it's backed up nicely. Another change to the game that I've been very pleased to see is a quick restart and a whistleless restart in the girls' game.
Yep.
Where they are able to, once they are free and ready and feel like they want to start the game, on some of the resets, they're able to just go. So the Bulldogs have a man up here, but unfortunately are not able to take advantage of it as the Sabres are taking the air out of the ball. To their credit, Kenzie Kretzinger comes around the outside. The Bulldogs are able to play a backer-type defense where Grogan is an extra defender. Ball gets on the ground there, but the Sabres recover. They're extending out their pressure, but back behind to Callie Bishop. Bishop looks for cutters. Doesn't find any she like, and now the penalty has been released. And we're back to even strength lacrosse here in 7-on-7. Bishop again looks for cutters. Finds one. Great
nice
save. Point blank. Quick stick shot. You thought that was going for sure, but Abby Widener comes up with an excellent save. Outstanding for the sophomore goalkeeper. They get it to Regan O'Brien, but the ball pops out of her stick. And Delaney Fox comes up with that loose ball. Gets it quickly to Callie Bishop. Bishop presses. Absorbs a tough check there, but no call there. Looks like Natalie Rago was on the defense there. Bishop finds a cutting Mans. Mans can't get it to go on the high bouncer, but it's again backed up by the Sabres. So back over to Bishop. Bishop again with patience. Come hard, and then she gets the low shot to go. A little worm burner there on Abdel Sayed. She turned the corner, dropped her stick, and was able to sneak it past Widener. 3-3 now, so tie ball game. 7:31 left in the first half.
Really nice job there by Bishop to maintain her posture and cradling of the ball, because there was definitely some contact inside there and still able to deliver a good shot.
Sure.
Well, we have a quick second. Congratulations to the boys lacrosse team. Starts the season 2-0. They won a 4-3 game up at Concord today.
Ew.
Kind of what we talked about the other day, 20-8 2 days ago. 4-3 today, but nonetheless, happy bus ride home coming with the victory instead of the loss. So
good for them. Good for them.
They traveled to Pinkerton on Saturday night for a 5:00 tilt. So looking forward to practice tomorrow in preparation of one of the stronger teams in the state for sure.
Yeah, hopefully all the snow has melted by the afternoon so they can get a practice in.
Coating at most. On the turf, we'll be fine.
But the New England weather continues as we are expecting a coating of snow and maybe 6 to 8 at higher elevations. So it should be an entertaining evening. But Grogan, speaking of entertaining, gets it to Regan O'Brien, and she's stuffed point blank by Hargraves. Excellent save by Hargraves on that one-on-one. O'Brien came across and went high to high and went right into the stick of Hargraves, and she came up with a nice save. O'Brien here gets called on the check as she's hustling back to help with the ride. And Sierra Kimball gets it up quickly over to Kenzie Kretzinger. And Kretzinger into the offensive half. So 3-3 here, just under 7 minutes left to play in the first half. And I've been told by one of my sources that 15-7 game on
that's a card.
Tuesday was a lot closer than that score indicated. And here we're going, as you mentioned, we're going to have a card on Natalie Rago. She's going to go off for a high check, as it looked like Abby Hawks got smacked in the head with a stick. So out of player safety and precaution, that is a penalty on Natalie Rago. She goes off to the side. The Bulldogs will play man down here. And Hawks has a shot from free position, and she makes good on that free position. And the Sabres go up 4-3. So 3 straight unanswered here by the Sabres.
So he can do a nice job keeping their composure, staying in this game. I mean, from a possession standpoint, they probably held it longer than Bedford, but getting down 3-1 again after an 8-goal loss the other day, they kept their composure and battled back and keep making the most of their possessions. I would say right now, not a lot of errant shots, a lot of high percentage shots, which is kind of what you want to see in fear of losing possession for the out of bounds call.
Yeah, our statistician says it's about a 70-30 ball possession here, time of possession in favor of the Sabres.
Yeah.
Thank you, George Cox. Appreciate those statistics. Of course, it's an approximate. We can't go down by the second here, but we're back to the draw. That draw is possessed by Olivia Matthews. Great job tracking down that loose ball. She gets it to Tipping. Tipping up quickly. Finds Enners. Enners spins back to her left hand and gets it into the offensive third, and they will settle and set up their offense. Oh, geez, I think we might have had an offside there that the officials missed.
I think
there.
They missed that one.
That was right in front of our friend Gary Wong. He definitely missed that. We had too many players on the offensive third, and they got away with it. So that's okay. 6 minutes left here as the Bulldogs look to equalize, and they can as O'Brien gets checked. Ball finds Sierra Kimball, and she's going to leg it out on the clear. She's chased down. Great hustle by the Bulldogs to try to push her into the out of bounds, but they can't get it to go. Feed across the middle is no good. That ball goes nearly out of bounds, but it's tracked down by Kretzinger. Back up top. And the Sabres will look for their cutters and look to drive where they can. Bell knocks down an errant pass. She picks up the ground ball, gets whacked in the head. So she'll come back about 5 yards to where the foul happened and restart.
Those are the tough ones there because that we had possession and we're momentum. Unfortunately, you see that sometimes in soccer too, where it's a judgment call, but obviously the right one with anything that possibly could hit the head. But unfortunate as Bedford was running with it.
Yeah, that's the discretion of the referee there. In some cases, especially around the goal, they will just raise the flag in their hand and let the play continue. But in this case, they blew the play dead. So Grogan now gets it to Enners. Enners to Bell. So, Corey, this is particularly rewarding for me as this sophomore class, who has a number of significant contributors on the field. I had the pleasure of coaching these kids for about 6 or 7 years with Bill O'Brien, Regan's father.
Yep.
And it's fun to see them contributing and playing well at such a high level here on the varsity team.
Yeah, it's the beauty of playing for your local school, right? You know, you grow up on the field, literally in this case, playing on Saturdays and Sundays, and hoping to get to that point where in the high school jersey representing your community. And yeah, great lacrosse players, great field hockey players, better kids, better student athletes. They've been phenomenal in getting to know them over the year. Much like most of our kids, you know, they're doing everything right, especially in these crazy COVID times with mask wearing and protocols in place. Nothing like a high school experience right now that these kids are enduring. And they could teach adults a lot of things based on how they're just taking positive approaches to how they're dealing with it day to day.
So good class, a young team here too, with so many freshmen and sophomores contributing significantly. Fewer upperclassmen, junior and seniors are a lower percentage here. O'Brien takes it behind. She works with Enners. They're going to work a little two-person game from behind. Quickly back to O'Brien and look for the cutting Enners, but that was batted down on a strong defensive play by the Sabres. Couldn't quite see who got the stick on it, but Ellie Stevenson has the ball in her stick right now.
Yeah, so he can do a very good job of active sticks. You know, either hitting the cradle and jarring loose a loose ball or deflections. They're doing a good job of clogging the zone for the passing within 10, 15 yards of the goal.
Handcuff there on that pass. It was over to look like Maddie Lim. She couldn't quite handle that, and loose ball. Infraction on the Sabres. Grogan now up quickly to Matthews. Matthews over to Enners. And Enners into the offensive third. Still harassed there by Eva Stein. And Matthews with a cut. Nobody saw her. As they're going to settle down here. And again, look for the equalizer. 2 minutes to go here in the first half as the Sabres hold a narrow one-goal lead, 4-3. And Bedford organizes their offense. They're talking, probably setting up a play, calling one out and organizing it. They get it to Audrey Purnell. Back to O'Brien. O'Brien drives lefty. Little inside roll. She's drawing a crowd, but stays patient. Gets it to Matthews. Matthews to Grogan. Grogan now to Bell. Bell looks for a cutting Matthews. Now it's a pick. Little roll.
So he can, again, doing a great job on the matchups and switching them and getting their sticks up and in their offhand up to just deflect those passing lanes. If you can't see it, it's hard to deliver a good pass.
Sure is.
Much like a basketball zone. Keeping your hands up, deflecting those zones. As we enter 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first half.
Grogan gets to a right.
There you go.
And we're going to get a shooting space violation. So Julian Bell got that pass back from Grogan. And shooting space indicates when a defensive player is in between the offense, but not quite close enough in the direct line of the shooter, between the shooter and the goal. And great save by Hargraves on that 8-meter. Bell can't cash in on the 8-meter, and it stays 4-3 with just under a minute left here.
Hargreaves with her fourth big save of the half.
Tipping. Good defense there. Pressing Stevenson into the boundary line. But the Sabres handle it nicely as she reversed direction. And now they take it behind. Defense there. Tough check there.
Ooh, that's got to go in our favor. Yeah.
And there's a push on that loose ball as Grogan was getting down there for the loose ball, and she was pushed from behind. So she comes out of the fan, and they'll restart play.
Sydney's a tough player. For her to go down like that, usually it's not self-inflicted.
Tough, strong, fast.
Oh, good luck.
And now she finds O'Brien. O'Brien's going to press. She's got a 2-on-1. Fakes the pass. Goes hard lefty. She gets whacked in the face, and she'll get an 8-meter.
Yeah, Sierra Kimball did a nice job pursuing that from the weak side. Unfortunately, just got a little too close for comfort with that stick and got Regan, another great opportunity here.
So O'Brien with the free position, 12.9 seconds. 13.6 is actually going to be a correction on the clock, so 13.6 left on the clock.
Very playoff form for the officials right there to spot that 7/10 coming off.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that's aggressive.
It's questionable, though, Steve Peace on the clock.
Regan stutter steps, and O'Brien buries for the equalizer. 4-4 with 11.6 left on O'Brien's second goal of the game. I understand she had quite a first game on Tuesday as she put 6 into the back of the net. Great first game as a varsity player. Unfortunately, last year she missed out on her freshman year with the season being canceled, but certainly made her mark early in the season with that offensive outburst on Tuesday.
Yeah, something to consider, and we can maybe talk about it after halftime, but just the experience for a lot of these kids, freshmen, sophomores, never having high school experience, let alone playing in the varsity, starting at the varsity level. So unique for a coaching staff to have to endure that without even really knowing some of these kids and bred them in that varsity culture right from the get-go.
Sure, that I will counter that a lot of these kids have been playing club at a very high level, so they're used to the intensity of the situation, but certainly getting used to the various defenses and offensive sets that Coach Hodgson wants to put in place. So Grogan gets pushed off there. Again, strong kid. Now they find O'Brien. O'Brien with 4 seconds left gets whacked in the face. Saved by Hargraves, but we're going to have a free position here again, as O'Brien was pressing hard there with only 4 seconds left. And Stevenson feels bad about that check, but Regan O'Brien does not feel bad about the 8-meter free position.
No.
Oh, maybe it's not going to be an 8-meter. Jeez, wow, looked like she was really close to that fan.
The flag came out before the whistle, so I noticed the flag, but I did not notice where she was exactly standing. But
so they're pushing her back to the 12-meter. And she's going to take a shot anyway with only 1.2 seconds left.
Maybe one step and fire here.
That's what I'm thinking. Look to go ahead by a goal here. They do not have time to look at Bell as they frequently try to exchange glances there. Her shot goes high and left right into the stick of Hargraves. Hargraves makes the save, and we're going to end the first half as a 4-4 tie. Tough battle so far, tough conditions, and both teams have seen some success on the offensive end. So we'll take about a 10-minute break here, and we will rejoin you for second half action here at Bedford High School for girls varsity lacrosse. And we are back here at Bedford High School in Bedford, New Hampshire, ready for second half action of the girls varsity lacrosse game against the Souhegan Sabres. A 4-4 tie went into halftime. Goals by Regan O'Brien, who had 2, Julian Bell with 1, and Sydney Grogan with 1.
And for Souhegan, Margot Mans with 2, Kelly Bishop with 1, and Abby Hawks with 1.
We go back to the draw circle here. And that one didn't go quite high enough, so Bell and Stevenson will go at it again. See what kinds of adjustments come out here of the second half. Both Coach Curro and Hodgson talked to their teams during the 10-minute break. Looking to make little adjustments here and there and give their teams an edge. So the Bulldogs will go right to left as Bell picks up that loose ball and gets hammered. Falls on the ground, and that will go to the Bulldogs on an illegal check.
A pretty even first half. I mean, back and forth, both teams with a couple nice saves, a couple good opportunities. Souhegan definitely had possession longer, but it doesn't really matter when it's 4-4 at the halfway mark. So 1 half of play left.
So Mans goes behind. Matthews up quickly. Now back to Bell. Bell looks for cutters. Looks like a pretty good wide open lefty lane right there if she wants to go at it, but she's being patient. They have a play set up, and they're looking for cutters. So a stack on the high left side here. Grogan cuts. Enters cuts. And now she finds the third one through Cameron Schmidt.
Yeah.
And that ball goes down on the ground. They get it up and out, but that ball goes back on the ground, and Enters is there for the ground ball. Excellent hustle.
Yeah, great job by Enters getting back for that one.
Sophomore attacker. And they're going to reset here. So a little more patience. Bell looks one-on-one. They've cleared it out. She looks like she has a good go if she wants to go on number 12, Eva Stein, but she's patient. Looks for cutters. Grogan. Now Schmidt. Now Enters. Enters is going to get the pass. Gets back to her left hand. Checked there quickly by 2 and 3 players.
Nice job keeping possession
of that
the whole way through. She definitely was encouraged out of the zone there by the Souhegan team.
Agreed with that. Now Bell goes. Doesn't see an opening. Sets up a little pick and roll with Grogan. Defenders switch. Now Grogan with the ball. Top right. Back over to Matthews. Grogan back to Matthews. She'll cut through. Now Bell. Guarded closely there. Stevenson now fouls Bell as she made a move aggressively to the cage, and Bell will get the 8-meter. Tough call there. Now It was called the push. It's okay if she holds her stick out in front of her with equal pressure, but as soon as she extends out and pushes into the offensive player, Stevenson's going to get called. Now Bell takes advantage of the opportunity and buries.
A slow shot by Julian there.
So Bell gets her second of the day, and the Bulldogs take a 5-4 lead.
Hargreaves has had a lot of success on those high shots, aside from Bell's first goal. That was top shelf that I don't think any net could have saved. But that one, nice opt-in for the low shot. And while we have a quick moment, we would like to thank the BCTV crew again, George Koch, Bill Jennings, Harry Kozlowski, Corey Mustiger for sure, providing opportunities here. We're 2 for 2 on our varsity offering with the boys on Tuesday, taking on Concord, and hope to provide as many opportunities again for the communities, not only of Bedford, but our opponents this year. We are still limiting away fans down to 2, but great to see many spectators from Bedford back out, and not many student athletes tonight, but I'm sure that'll trend in a positive direction as weather gets a little friendlier, hopefully next week for us.
True lacrosse faithful here today, Corey. Umbrellas are up, the blankets are down on the stands here, and people are freezing their tushes. The draw goes to the Bulldogs as Grogan picks up the ground ball. We are pleased to welcome in viewers from all over the place, as grandparents and relatives and aunts and uncles, all kinds of different spots.
Not sure that call. I believe maybe we
I don't know
lost
either.
a mouth guard or something, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Interesting. She put her behind possession.
Yeah, we know some grandparents on Long Island, some up in Syracuse.
Love it.
All over the place are tuning in. So it's a pleasure to have you all here this afternoon as Bell feeds back to Matthews.
Oh.
Matthews, ooh, that looked like a bar down.
Hmm.
Jeez, looked like it hit the crossbar and went into the net and bounced out, but they do not get the call. They do corral the rebound and are able to reset as Cameron Schmidt drives. She's going to get pushed out and likely a free position here on the 8-meter. So Sierra Kimball was a little too aggressive in that check. And now Schmidt will regroup. 2 cradles, bounce shot, no good, but Enners is there to back it up. Enners quickly to Grogan. She's checked quickly and discouraged from shooting. And Bell will reset the offense. Little pick and roll, goes back to her left and shoots offside, and great bury by Bell. Nice offhand shot offside on the goalie. Offside hip is a really tough spot for the goalie to make that save, and she found it on that drive lefty. So the Bulldogs go to a 6-4 lead on Bell's third goal of the game, and she has her hat trick with about 20 minutes left here in the second half.
Yeah, so, just over 4 minutes into the second half here, Bedford doing a great job controlling possession. I don't think the ball has moved to the right side of the field. I think Bedford's controlled it the entire time, and it's shown with 2 goals, jumping up to a 6-4 lead. There's 2 goal is the largest lead of the game so far, as they led it at 3-1 as well.
Yeah, it goes back to that time of possession that we talked about in the first half. And if you can control these draws, make it take it, is going to be tough for the defense. So Bell and Stevenson go back to the draw circle. Ball comes out. Loose ball. Grogan pushes. And Mans is going to pick it up. And now, as you mentioned, the Sabres are into their offensive third for the first time here in the second half. Drive here by Fox. Fox is going to draw a shooting space on Tipping. So Tipping will come behind, and Fox will have an 8-meter free position. One-on-one. High of the goal, but they're back there for the backup. And Abdel Sayed will step into defense here now. Roll back by Kretzinger. She finds Stevenson eventually, and Widener comes away with the ball, but I think it was an illegal check.
Yeah, I think Grogan got her on the backside. Grogan did a good job falling back on that play.
Sure did, but unfortunately, Ellie Stevenson is going to have an 8-meter. And they're going to call that on Kira Abdel Sayed as she's the player trailing. Little stutter step here, and Stevenson buries. Low left. Tough little move there as she took a stutter step, got back to her right-hand side around the defender. And as soon as that offensive player wraps around a defender, the goalie has a really tough time seeing it. So Ellie Stevenson with her first goal of the game brings it back to 6-5. 19:37 left here in the game. Some substitutions as Mackenzie Muir goes out and Libby Norris comes in for the Bedford Bulldogs on the defensive side. Back to the draw circle. Grogan comes away with that loose ball.
That was kind of low.
It did look low, but I think it's that shoulder or head height.
Yeah.
It looked like it might have just gotten over, and no offense to Sydney Grogan, but above her head is not very high. An excellent athlete, but not blessed with height. So
we'll take it.
We will take it. Now Julian Bell looks to pick and roll. Great roll by Matthews. Can't control the pass. Bounce shot goes wide. Backed up by O'Brien.
Yeah, pretty slip there on the screen.
It was very nice. Now O'Brien drives hard, and she's going to draw a foul. So you like the aggressiveness. Regan O'Brien has been aggressive each time she's gotten the ball. Drives hard. The sophomore lefty attackman, again, had a great Tuesday, and now she's looking to continue that with 2 goals here already, and now has a free position and good chance for her third. Goes high and makes it count. Nice little foreshadowing there, Corey Parker.
Well done.
as
Well
Regan
done.
O'Brien gets her hat trick to go, and
Yep.
the lead is back to 2 as they take a 7-5 lead with 18:36 left here in the second half.
Yeah, what you touched upon. I mean, if you were able to get a clean breakaway from behind the goal, coming at full speed, it's darn near impossible to stop defensively. And most of the time, you'll see what happened there, just excessive contact, which is going to result in that high percentage shot after the whistle.
Sure is, and O'Brien is a great offensive player and able to take advantage of that each time she sees her opportunities and draws those fouls when and where possible. Bell comes away with the draw control again. Now, again, we talked about this ball possession. Gets it up to Grogan, and they get it into the offensive third. So 7-5, and the Bulldogs set up their offense. Schmidt steps in, back to Enners. Their goal line extended, which is somewhat intuitive. So it's the goal line extended all the way to the sidelines. We frequently refer to that as a place on the field here in lacrosse. So you're even with the mouth of the goal, sometimes even shortened to GLE or goal line extended. O'Brien finds a cutting Matthews. She can't handle that, but comes away with a great ground ball in traffic. Excellent GB there. And O'Brien will take it back behind. Drives lefty, looking for cutters. Sees the second cutter through was Grogan. Couldn't get a shot off, so she'll settle. And we have a violation of some sort. It looked like maybe the defender ran through the crease, which they are not allowed to do in girls yet at the high school level.
Looked like she was deeper than that, but I guess not. Mr. Wong on the call.
And they'll spin it around up top. Get it to Enners. Enners down to Schmidt. Back up top to Enners. Sets it up. Goes to her left. Draws 3. Gets a shot off. It's wide, but O'Brien will back it up behind the cage and retain possession for the Bulldogs.
And that's exactly what you're talking about. Just free flow right back into the game, not needing to stop and wait. It just keeps the game going. And that unfortunate opportunity for us. We lost it, but nonetheless, if we can get it back here.
But from a game flow perspective, you're absolutely right. It's better for the players, better for the fans, better for everybody involved as the Sabres look to come out on their clear. Get it across the field to Sierra Kimball up top, but that pass is too high. Kira Abdel Sayed comes away with the defensive ground ball. She finds Audrey Purnell. Purnell legs it into the offensive third, and now they will settle. O'Brien now takes it to GLE, now behind the cage. See that reference there?
There you go.
Going back to the GLE.
Love it. True professional.
A little handoff to Enners. Enners cuts, little give and go. Enners gets it, but Hargraves makes an excellent save. A little twist to shot backhand by Enners, and that won't go either. But O'Brien backs it up and keeps possession. So a couple nifty little moves there.
I was impressed she was able to maintain possession of it because the pass didn't have a lot of zip on it, and so it looked like Sauhegan was going to be able to grab it. Oh, that's the head.
Yeah, and that's that little stutter step there by O'Brien. She's very good at that and then gets quickly to her strong left hand, draws that foul, and again earns the free position.
Yeah, and a team like us, and really Sauhegan too, you can't double because the players are all so strong that they need to keep the one-on-one matchups for defensive purposes, and players like Regan make them pay.
So skilled. On that one, she misses the cage, but we're going to have another call.
Yeah.
And O'Brien will get another free position. It might have been a wayward check. I didn't quite see what happened there.
I think Stevenson's going behind on that one. Yep. I didn't see it either, though.
So now she improves her angle. Looks like Stevenson, it was not the
you're right.
penalty.
She moved after.
And O'Brien goes to the low bouncer on the right side, and she's able to bury. So O'Brien, with her 4th goal of the game, presses the lead out to 3, 8-5, with 14:31 left here in the second half.
For the young players at home watching tonight, for hopefully multiple communities, certainly Amherst and Bedford, those stick skills that you alluded to earlier. A lot of practice, a lot of patience, a lot of not necessarily glamorous parts of all fundamental sports, but building those stick skills is what makes those plays right there, where she's able to go at full speed, maintain possession, and get a fire off a really quality shot and not lose it in the cradle, which is much easier to do than they're making it look. That's for sure.
Yeah, much harder to do, I would say, right?
Excuse me, keep it. Well, much easier to lose it is what I was referring to.
Fair enough.
You're right.
Yeah. And these girls have had the stick in their hands so frequently, either passing to a partner in their backyard or finding a rebound or finding a brick wall even just to pound the ball. Right hand, left hand, switches, little roll away from pressure, but just keeping the ball in your stick and working it as much as possible, getting more and more familiar with it. Those stick skills are so crucial at this level. And they get it back to O'Brien. O'Brien waits for cutters. An interesting concept I thought about, Corey, was the fact that some of these girls have lost an entire season, and in particular with such a strong scoring output in some of these players, as they look inside, it gets batted away. You think about career scoring records, that they're going to have 1 year less to build or potentially attack some of those records. So,
yeah, it definitely will. For those, longer players, you think of a Hannah McCarthy who graduated playing 4 years at the varsity level. Certainly has an advantage per se, but again, like you alluded to, a lot of these kids playing high level outside of the high school season. So hopefully the accolades and opportunities and recognition for the collegiate opportunities will not be missed because of a lack of high school games.
So the Sabres bring it into their offensive third and look to set up their offense. McCarthy, a stellar player here for the Bedford High School girls lacrosse team. Playing down at Elon, I believe.
Elon, yep. In her sophomore season down there.
The Sabres do a little bit of a weave there, and they get a step, and it looks like, that had to be a call. Callie Bishop drove hard. That was delayed, but because she got the shot off, they do not blow it dead. And now Bishop's stick goes into the crease, so that is a violation. Yep. They cannot break the cylinder of the crease here in girls lacrosse. Grogan.
Boy,
Grogan gets whacked.
It's a good thing this is turf, or we'd need some extra tide tonight to clean that jersey.
Abby Hawks on the foul there.
If anyone's going to pop up from going down, though, Sydney Grogan would do it probably quicker than anyone in this building, not just on this girls' lacrosse team.
And Abby Hawks gets sent off, and they must have thought that was a particularly aggressive foul.
Perhaps not the first time they've asked her to stop that tonight.
And the Sabres will play one girl down. Grogan with the dodge at the midfield. Looks to dish, but keeps it. Now gets it to Enners. Enners back to Grogan. And the Sabres got away with an offsides there. But no whistle. And the Bulldogs keep possession. O'Brien now finds a cutter. Grogan, bar down, and that is no good.
I think did she rebound it and in the crease?
She might have gone into the crease there. That's the second
time.
I
heard it off the post.
Yeah,
I think she grabbed it, but might have her follow-through put her in the crease, unfortunately.
And that's a tough one to call. I mean, Gary Wong is standing right there on goal line extended, but those bar downs are a frustrating one as frequently it hits the underside of the crossbar, falls down, and goes behind the goal line. So it should be called a goal, but you can't quite tell from certain angles. So
looks like we got a timeout on the field, I believe. Based on the direction, I think it's Sauhegan with the call.
That's a fascinating thing. This is a habit from their girls' youth lacrosse experience where you saw many of the girls drop their sticks. Again, that harkens back to the free position, right? They've been trained, okay, it's a timeout. I have to throw my stick on the ground so I can return exactly where I was on the field when they called the timeout. With free position, they don't need to do that anymore except for the person with the ball.
While we have a moment, I'd like to extend a thank you again to all the Bedford Bulldogs Athletic Booster Club members that are taking part in supporting all of Bedford Athletics programs this year. If interested in becoming a Bedford Bulldog Athletic booster, please check out bbabc.net. In addition, we'd like to thank our corporate sponsors, Spectrum Marketing, Elliott Medical Center, Liberty Hill Construction, New Hampshire Athletic Fundraising, the BVI and the Grand, Lair Boschman Associates, Rebecca Spires Real Estate, Caldwell Banker, Pizza Bella, and our newest member, Gear Up Bedford. Again, thank you for all our sponsors here locally. If you're interested in being a corporate sponsor, please again check out bbabc.net or feel free to call the athletic office for more information.
Some really generous companies right there on that list. This guy's doing live reads. I love it.
Fake it till you make it.
But obviously all contributing at a sponsorship level, varying levels. And I'm curious about that Gear Up Bedford. They're coming into
they're coming next to Wicked Butcher. Yeah,
Okay.
A local family. I believe they move in a couple weeks to the spot, but I know they're very well connected locally and very generous and engaging with a lot of local community teams. And I think our tennis teams have ordered some long sleeves from them already. So fortunate to have another opportunity supporting local businesses, supporting local high schools, and it's a win-win relationship. And so we certainly welcome that and wish them nothing but the best, as we do with all our companies locally here in the 03110 area.
could be good opportunity for grandparents to gear up themselves,
It
maybe
could be.
Christmas presents, birthday presents.
I think that's their goal. I think that's kind of the niche is you don't need to go on a website, don't need to order something 2 months before the season on team stores and be able to walk in and get that merchandise. And, you know, the Nikes, the Under Armours, the apparel that you'll frequently see at Dick's and Kohl's, you can get with the Bedford logo representing your community when you're coming out for games under the lights like we are here tonight at lacrosse. And tonight you may want that umbrella per se, but hopefully soon enough it could be polos and T-shirts.
Put a bulldog on the umbrella. It would be useful tonight.
Yes, it would.
So the timeout was taken, 11:23 left here in the second half. Bulldogs with an 8-5 lead over the Souhegan Sabres.
As we enter play, the Bulldogs here will take on Salem next week as their common opponent. They'll host Salem here on the 20th, travel to Salem on the 22nd, before another exciting Division II matchup with Winnicott, a really strong Division II team that we try to get on the schedule each year. One of those teams that is a really strong, competitive, out-of-conference game for us to pick up, and fortunate they want to play us on an annual basis.
And we will do what we can to bring you as many games as we can on BCTV and on the various internet streams.
Oh, nice. Ooh.
Good check there, but O'Brien does get called. She's going across the body on that check.
That's technically the right call, though the execution was well.
And they're going to blow that dead again.
Yeah, she's got to stay behind that one, I think.
She does, but it looked like there was a quick restart. So Eva Stein took that step, and on that whistleless restart, it looked like O'Brien was there.
Pick.
But a great check there by Isabel McStowe. She goes in, gets the high bouncer, and McStowe pushes the lead out to 9-5. Excellent play there as she got the check, got the ground ball, and then took it in and buried the goal.
Yeah, definitely startled her. The caught surprise for Souhegan there. She just a smooth play, picked that up and almost cone-like drills, able to deliver the bouncing shot in there to extend this lead to 4. Bedford doing a fabulous job this half, really kind of dictating the pace, dictating the possession, and it's evident with the 9-5 lead with 10:45 left in the second half.
Threw the off-speed pitch there too. Yeah. I feel like Joe Castiglione.
Wow,
Red Sox
spot on.
Radio Network.
Jeez, he does it all. You should see him on the basketball court in men's league as well. No, 2.5. Yep. Boys is 4 quarters.
So the off-speed pitch there by McStowe, a slow bouncer, fools Hargraves, and the lead is 9-5. 10:45 left to go here. Yeah, I do a couple of impressions here, Corey. It's a little fun.
I'm impressed.
We go back to the draw.
Don't do any other Corys in the press box.
Might get too confusing. That draw looked like it was almost controlled by Grogan, but the Sabres come away with that ground ball. Nicole O'Rourke picks up the GB. She gets fouled, and O'Rourke finds Kimball now. Kimball into the middle, finds Stevenson. Check there by Enners. Pulls it out away from pressure and then back over the top to Kimball. Kimball close to that boundary line, but safe. She looks to O'Rourke. Now, interesting changes in the games, right? So when we were younger, the girls did not wear goggles.
Yeah.
They did not have boundary lines.
Nope. Oh, it was free flowing.
Yeah. We had different position names, first home, second home, third home. Great save there by Abby Widener, but there was a foul on the rebound. But again, Widener got low for that save, and it was an excellent way to prevent that goal. Now we're going to have a free position here by the Sabres, and she's going to cash as Callie Bishop takes a sidearm shot, and it goes offside hip on Widener, and she can't catch it up. So Bishop makes good on that free position, and it is 9-6 with 9:26 left.
Yeah, Bishop doing a nice job of kind of easing the tension a little bit here, as maybe the game was starting to get away from Souhegan ever since that timeout, really. Although McStoll countered it with a goal here, but Souhegan needed that goal. I think they need to get the ball in, like as you alluded to earlier, keeping it in their third for some scoring opportunities here, as Bedford's taking most advantages of the opportunities and down 3.
It seems like the Bulldogs have been a little more patient on offense here in the second half. They've really tried to take advantage of their patience and getting really good quality shots as Stevenson comes away with the draw control. And the draw control going 50-50 here is going to be an important part of the Sabres making any kind of comeback effort. If you don't have the ball, you can't score. So Abdel Sayed now into Bishop. Good defense there. Bishop looks for the stutter step. No go. She gets it behind. Looks like Krasinska. Now over to, looks like Kimball. And Kimball gets pushed.
Yeah, looked like Julian mistakenly extended a little bit there.
Julian Bell. So Kimball's going to go and have a free position on a tough angle here. So Widener stands in, 8.5 left here. Ball goes down, comes out of the stick, but we're going to have an illegal check. Not quite sure who that was. They're going to call it on.
I'm not sure.
Wow, nobody behind.
Natalie Rago.
Yeah, so it was Natalie. Natalie Rago. She'll go behind on that call there, and Kimball will step in front and center, and she takes advantage of it as she goes low left and beats Widener. So Lila Kimball with her first goal on the day, and it brings it back to a 2-goal deficit. 9-7. 8:04 left here in the second half. 25-minute halves that we play here in the girls' game. Field dimensions are a little bit different than the boys' game. A little bit wider, a little bit longer.
Yeah, we've actually extended the field, as you do have some fluctuations on the length. When we redid the turf this summer, we extended to 120 for soccer and lacrosse, which would allow us to host collegiate games if necessary, but it also gives us the upper hand in hosting state championship games. Allows for more space to play, which I think benefits the teams for sure.
And we did compliment the athletic department and the school system in general. The district put down a new turf here last summer. Of course, the football players played on it in the fall, and the boys lacrosse team played their first game on it on Tuesday, and it looks great.
Yeah, very fortunate. Again, thank you to the taxpayers in town supporting much needed athletic upgrades, this including the gymnasium floor getting refinished and resanded. So looking like a brand new gym, and with new lights this past summer, it popped in there. No question watching basketball games.
Yeah, that looked great. Little hidden ball trick they tried. Bell now draws the foul, so she will go to an 8-meter free position. She steps, takes it back out, wants a better opportunity as she pulls it out and finds Regan O'Brien. So O'Brien now comes back high to Bell. Bell, little pick and roll, gets to her right. Double teamed there quickly, pulls it back out, but finds a cutting O'Brien, switches back to her right hand. Excellent save there by Hargraves. It was stick side high, but that was a laser.
Yeah.
Hargraves got a stick on it. Rebound came out, and the Bulldogs gathered the ground ball, so they'll get another chance at it. Enters. Dishes to O'Brien. Back to her left. She gets doubled. Back to Bell. And again, they're patient. So, yeah.
Yep. I think they realize, with this 2-goal lead against a really good team, this is a really big opportunity to put their 10th goal on the board. So being very careful and taking their time with it.
About a 2-minute possession here, and that gets popped out by Margot Mans. Picks up the GB, and she is out into transition and extending the distance between her and the defender.
Yeah, right.
Her pass, unfortunately, goes off of Callie Bishop's stick, and the Bulldogs get possession. So Regan O'Brien back in transition now into the offensive third. They'll look for numbers, and when they don't have it, O'Brien settles. And back to the patience, right? Mm-hmm. So they look like they burned off just about 2 minutes or so in that last possession. Now that we have a high stack right at the top of the fan. Looks like they're huddling, maybe playing a hidden ball trick there. And we said, why don't you cut? No, I'm not going to cut. You cut. This might be a specific play arranged.
Well, this is a heck of a play right now. That clock continues to tick. So if Black isn't going to force the issue.
There it is, and good defensive play to bat that ball away. Looked like Sierra Kimball might have gotten a stick on that, but
nice play right
on the outlet there, Ulmer gets a stick on that, and Grogan comes away with the ground ball. We're going to have, not quite sure what that was, but another, it's a timeout. It's a timeout. Yep, absolutely.
Timeout Bedford.
He was making what looked to be a penalty call there, which I thought he was sending somebody off, but that was not the call. It was a timeout by Bedford. So 4:59 left here in the second half. 9-7 lead. 2-goal lead for the Bulldogs. And I'm guessing, as you mentioned, they'll probably look to not necessarily stall, but be deliberate on offense.
I think you just want to make crisp passes, low percentage and loss passes, and hopefully be able to maintain it and get a good shot. But again, unique as we enter season 3 of COVID sports. This year, going to look a little different, similar to the fall and in the winter. All teams that are healthy and able to participate in the tournament will be eligible this year. Traditionally, in a normal year, there's only 70% of the teams in the standings will advance to playoff rounds, but that's not the case this year, simply given the uncertainty of how many games people will lose for quarantine purposes. And so everyone in Division I will make the playoffs this year, and it will add and extend an extra round of playoffs as we embark on the state tournament later in the year. But at the same time, with that, what's uncertain yet is how they're going to actually formulate the brackets for the spring sports. And so it'll be interesting to find out. Certainly through the winter, their teams were put in essentially local pods and played out of your pod. It'll be interesting to see if the lacrosse committee opts for that same go this year. But as soon as that information is available to athletic directors, speaking directly as one, I know myself and Kelly Braley, the athletic director at Souhegan, will be sure to get that information out. As I know, not focusing and getting too far ahead is the name of the game when you're a coach, but at the same token, knowing the future and what it could entail and possible matchups is certainly something that comes into play when you're looking at scouting, and which has been interesting this year. Another thing with COVID, fortunately, like you guys, BCTV, we've been able to stream a ton of games, and I know pretty much every opponent has. So it's been interesting to watch scouting reports and talk to coaches who have seen, at least online, pretty much every opponent before we faced them and in preparation for the state tournament. So it's been a I think that's been a healthy twist. As coaches haven't had to drive out to Winnacunnet to watch a game on a Tuesday, they can log home after dinner with their family and be able to watch it and get the same outcome from the scouting report at home. So hopefully some of that kind of stuff can stay for future years.
Yeah. An unexpected, pleasant surprise there, right?
Serendipitous act.
Well, the seeding too. I'm curious about the seeding, as the seeding for the basketball tournaments was random, right? It was
Yes.
not based on record throughout the season.
So that's what's possibly going to be the case. It'll be a random draw to ultimately determine the seeds and then plug and play into the bracket that way, because the amount of games and who plays who may be in question based on if anyone needs to quarantine.
So Bedford back into their offensive end after the timeout. We come out again, just under 5 minutes to play here. And the Bulldogs are back in their patient offense and looking for that quality opportunity that you were mentioning. High percentage passes, looking for the layup, if you will. Back cut there. The ball gets batted, and the Sabres come away with that ground ball. But that pass goes off of the stick of the defender here. And Omer gets the ground ball, but she does run out of bounds. So it will be Sabres ball. O'Brien on the defense there. Goes all the way back to the goalie. Hargraves looks up, tosses it away right into Olivia Matthews' stick. And that is an opportunity lost for the Sabres, as they were potentially up and out and back into their offensive end. But the Bulldogs will keep time of possession here into their offensive third, and again take the air out. Stack high and away. Matthews looks to ISO, left-handed, drives hard, dips the shoulder, and buries top right. Excellent shot there from the freshman as she gets on the scoreboard with her first goal of the evening and pushes the score to 10-7.
Big goal right there. Yeah, and to your point earlier, Sticks being able to deflect some shots, Bedford being able to keep it in the zone 2 straight times there on errant passes, from Souhegan. Big goal there to keep a 3-goal cushion for Bedford. Olivia Matthews voted the player of the game on the BHS Girls Lacrosse Instagram page.
Wow, okay.
At Souhegan on Tuesday, so having an impact in her rookie game as a Bulldog.
Freshman coming out strong. You love to see that.
In fairness, I have no idea the rulings or the criteria in making that. My gut tells me the captains.
Yeah, captains, peers, but still, nonetheless.
The you can have is from your peers, no question.
Exactly. So 3:35. Yeah, right. Give her a Tommy point. Yeah, so 10-7 left. Or 10-7 is the score with 3:35 left. Grogan gets control of that draw. Gets pushed a couple times, and Mans is going to be sent behind. Grogan restarts quickly. And again, they will look to take the air out of the ball. Ulmer behind to O'Brien. O'Brien back up top. Now there's no shot clock here in girls lacrosse at the high school level. They can fiddle and diddle with it as long as they want. Thank you, Johnny Most.
Yeah, you got to think at some point Souhegan's going to start to press with multiple defenders attacking the ball, which hopefully would open up a cutting Bedford player for a pass at least to keep possession.
They will definitely. And if the ball does go behind, you might look to have a double team back there, either with the goalie coming out or a second defender attacking aggressively towards the ball to try to force a turnover. Bell dips her shoulder, and she's going to have a free position as the push from Kimball. Well, it looks like it was not a push. It was a shooting space. So Mann stepped in and was in a vulnerable position as Bell looked to score. Now Bell pulls it out. Wise move by Bell. She gets it to Grogan. Grogan drops it momentarily, but picks it right back up and gets it to Enners.
Running time in girls lacrosse for each half until the 2-minute mark, and that at the 2-minute mark, any whistle will stop the action.
And we are under that 2-minute mark now, as we have 1:50 left to play. And it'll be tough for the Souhegan team to come back at this point. It's not impossible, but it is tough with the Bulldogs retaining possession as they are. O'Brien gets hard drive to her left. Hargraves makes a great save, but it's backed up behind
Nice
by
job
Olivia Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews being.
Ooh, not sure what that call is, but something happened in the middle, and they're going to award this ball to the Sabres.
Yeah.
1:33 left. They're going to have to clear, but I am unsure what that call was.
And again, you got to wonder there. Sometimes why aren't they shooting if you're watching at home? A goal, although can be a great thing, it does encourage the the possession up top, which is one of the only ways Sauhegan could stay or get back in this game at this point. So sometimes it's better off to just keep possession.
It would go back to the draw circle.
Yep.
And we can hear some of the fans getting excited about this, as it is a potential good opportunity for the Sabres, but that ball goes wide over the head of the opposite defender. Now they look to ride even further. Enters in on the ride, but that ball finds Kretzinger. Kretzinger gets it over into the offensive third, and they will set up their offense. They do not have a lot of time to work, as it is 1 minute left to go in the game. Stevenson has the ball straight up top. She's going to look to ISO. Probably look to see a quick double team here. She's going to go back to her right-hand side. Somewhat predictable, and good defensive play there. Discourages that drive as Olivia Matthews was there. Ooh, tough there. Looked like there might have been a shooting space, but it didn't seem like they were an aggressive move towards the cage, so no call. And they're going to fiddle with it behind. So Bishop, guarded by Tipping. Good job by Tipping preventing that inside roll. Backside, though, they pick it up and find the back of the net. A ball that was tipped right there in front of the crease. Again, the goalie didn't have much of a chance as Abby Widener couldn't get quite past the front side action. And Abby Hawks picks up the ball and buries top right.
Hawks are second of the evening.
2 goals for Hawks and a 2-goal deficit here with 23 seconds left. It looks like Coach Curro is going to take a timeout and try to set something up. It is tough, though, as they need to get possession from the draw, probably pretty cleanly, get down to the offensive end quickly, and get another quick goal. And that is a tough putt with 23 seconds left here.
It can happen, though. I mean, if you're able to win and scoop and go, I mean, these girls, it impresses. I know our track coach generally will come watch a game or two and almost cringes when he sees the speed of some of these girls from the 50 to the goal line. But if you can get a straight shot and either get a good attempt or at least get shooting space or contact, it's going to stop the clock, which then allows the opportunity. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it possible? Yes, though. So
you're saying there's a chance.
There's always a chance until that horn goes off.
So 10-8. Quick scoring summary for you on the Bedford side. Regan O'Brien leads with 4 goals. Julian Bell has a hat trick of her own. 1 goal each by Sydney Grogan, Olivia Matthews, and Isabella McStowe. On the Sabres side, we have 2 goals each by Hawks, Bishop, and Mans. And Lila Kimball has 1, and down here, Ellie Stevenson has their 8th goal. So 23 seconds left here. Bedford still has 1 timeout remaining. The rain seems to be steady yet light. Umbrellas are still out. Darkness is coming. And potentially snow is coming. A couple of giggles here in the box as we're nice and warm behind the glass, but people are not going to be warm tonight as the nor'easter comes in midway through April. So we back to the draw circle here. They're going to position Grogan on the defensive side. Smart coaching move. It may not be near where the ball has been coming out, but he will be positioned defensively, so prevent any possible fast break. So Bell against Stevenson here on the draw circle. It goes away, and conveniently enough, Grogan is perfectly positioned for that loose ball. Comes up with it to Enners. They are in their offensive third. And Enners looks to bury the ball deep. Now they're going to go backwards. They find Libby Norris. Norris gets it crossfield. and Bell picks it back up, and they're just killing time now.
Yep.
3, 2, 1,
Formality. There it
and
is.
there's the final horn as the Bedford Bulldogs come away with their second victory. Good offensive showing, and they will lead it and end it as a 10-8 victory.
Yeah, certainly a closer score than a couple days ago, but nonetheless, Bedford's got to feel good about how they came out of that second half. Defensively, I thought they did a really nice job maintaining, and certainly some positives as we, again, welcome our viewers from two towns and all over the Eastern Seaboard, according to Corey Mustatiger earlier. So, but just a strong showing, 2 quality games, 2 quality wins to start the season, and what seems like a really long time ago that we saw the Bedford girls lacrosse team competing in action.
Yeah, great job here by the Bulldogs tonight. Congratulations on their second victory of the season. Again, a quick scoring recap. Regan O'Brien had 4, Julian Bell with 3, Matthews, McStowe, and Grogan each chipped in with 1 for the Bulldogs. On the Sabres side, we had Margot Mans, Callie Bishop, Abby Hawks, each with 2, and Lila Kimball and Ellie Stevenson chipped in 1. Final score 10-8 here at Bedford High School. Congratulations to the Bulldogs on a nice victory.